Bible Space Time.
Why did Jesus have to die for us personally? Couldn't an angel or any other creature die for us?
If you break a traffic regulation, how much fine do you need to pay?
It should be according to the law of the state.
If the governor of the state breaks the same traffic regulation, how much does he need to pay?
The same amount that I need to pay.
Yes. The traffic law decides the amount of fine, not the social status of each person. So, if you break the law of God, then the atonement must be paid according to the value of the law of God. That's why only Jesus could die for us, not anybody else.
That's why Paul emphasized the reality of the heavenly sanctuary.
Yes. To emphasize the fact that only Jesus, who is God, can be the sacrifice, he is emphasizing the reality of the heavenly sanctuary. For the Son of God, who is the Alpha and Omega, who does not belong to any time, to be the atonement, the sacrificial lamb, the court must be established in heaven, and Jesus should die also in heaven. To do that, there should be a heavenly sanctuary. Atonement cannot be completed by the cross that's set on the timeline of the earth. It can be only completed by the cross that found it in the timeless space of heaven, because the Lamb was Jesus, who is the Alpha and Omega.
That's why the sacrifice of Jesus could change the entire history of the earth.
Yes, the cross of Jesus was founded on the timeless space so that the sacrifice of Jesus can change every person's history regardless of time they've lived in.
Wow, so the sanctuary is a kind of time machine that can change the time of the earth.
Yes, it is a time machine that does not belong to any time. That's why Paul said he went through the greater and more perfect tabernacle that is not made with human hands, that is to say, is not a part of this creation. For Christ did not enter a sanctuary made with human hands that was only a copy of the true one. He entered heaven itself now to appear for us in God's presence. Hebrews chapter 9.
I see. That's why even before Adam and Eve ate the forbidden fruit, angels triumphed over him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. They did not love their lives so much as to shrink from death.
Yes. As John said in the book of Revelation, Paul was also trying to connect the time of the cross of the Roman Empire and the time of the foundation of the earth, to explain to us that there is a tunnel of time between these two time points that synchronize them as one.
You mean, in terms of our time structure, the time of the Roman Empire and the time of the foundation of the earth are surely different, but Jesus didn't die 2 times, but once for all, because the sacrifice of Jesus was a timeless event affecting every time points of the universe simultaneously.
Then, why do some theologians believe that the heavenly sanctuary is a symbolic place?
Because they think the earthly sanctuary that was built by Moses was the real one, so they assume that the one in the heaven is a symbolic one.
That is an exact opposite idea to what the Bible said.
Yes. Bible said the sanctuary in heaven is the real one, and the earthly sanctuary was the copy, symbolizing the real one.
Paul said the law is only a shadow of the good things that are coming, not the realities themselves. For this reason it can never, by the same sacrifices repeated endlessly year after year, make perfect those who draw near to worship. Otherwise, would they not have stopped being offered, for the worshippers would have been cleansed once for all, and would no longer have felt guilty for the sins. But those sacrifices are an annual reminder of sins. It is impossible for the blood of bulls and goats to take away sins.
Here, the law is the sacrificial system of the Moses sanctuary, not the 10 Commandments, because it is about those sacrifices that are an annual reminder of sins and the blood of bulls and goats. And Paul clearly said that it was a shadow of the real one.
I see, so the heavenly sanctuary is the real one. Then are the services of the heavenly sanctuary still going on now?
The answer could be yes, or no. If we follow the time structure of the earth, it is still going on, but if we follow the time of the heaven, it has finished timelessly at the foundation of the world. Jesus was still God when he died for us. God who does not belong to any time, who is the beginning and the end. That's why Bible only could explain the time as the foundation of the world. There is no way of explaining the time of event that does not belong to any time.
I see, that's why God made the heavenly sanctuary to connect the timeless sacrifice of the creator of time to the certain point of the time of the earth.
Yes. So the heavenly sanctuary must be both time and timeless spaces, to connect to different dimensional worlds.
What kind of material was used to construct the heavenly sanctuary?
Paul said it was not a part of this creation, so it is difficult to know what kind of material it was used to make. It must be different dimensional material. But one thing clear is that it is visible to our eyes.
How do you know that it is visible to our eyes?
Because John said, I did not see a temple in the city, because the Lord God Almighty and the Lamb are its temple. If the sanctuary was invisible from the beginning, then John wouldn't say that he didn't see the temple in the new heaven and the earth. For you know that it was not with perishable things such as silver or gold that you were redeemed from the empty way of life handed down to you from your ancestors, but with the precious blood of Christ, a lamb without blemish or defect. He was chosen before the creation of the world, but was revealed in these last times for your sake. Through him you believe in God, who raised him from the dead and glorified him, and so your faith and hope are in God. 1 Peter chapter 1 verses 18 to 21.
Thank you for watching Bible Space Time.